Welcome back to Last Week in Sports, now in video form. In the last week, we've seen everything from spins to wins and action that no one could ever expect, so let's jump in. In local sports, we look to the Vegas Golden Knights first, who unfortunately lost every one of their games they played last week, taking a 2-4 loss against the Capitals to kick off the week and losing 3-4 against both the Tampa Bay Lightning and Florida Panthers. The record for our Knights now stands at 3-2-1, with their loss against the Panthers being taken in overtime. The Las Vegas Raiders played the LA Rams on Sunday, taking another unfortunate loss, with the 15-20 being the score. Both teams went scoreless in the first quarter, but the Rams quickly gained a lead in the second quarter after Raiders scored 2 field goals. The Raiders will take on the Chiefs this Sunday for another home game. In other local sports news, we saw multiple national leagues bring games and races to our city, including NASCAR for the South Point 400. Joey Logano won the race, immediately advancing himself into the Championship 4, which will take place on November 10th at the Phoenix Raceway. The race saw multiple large incidents, with playoffs contender Tyler Reddick being involved in a large wreck that led to his car flipping over on the main straightaway. Austin Dillon was also involved in a hefty incident, going head-on with the barriers at Turn 3 after contact with Daniel Hemrick. The other major sport that came to Las Vegas was the NBA, bringing the classic NorCal versus SoCal rivalry of the Lakers versus Warriors to the T-Mobile Arena. The Warriors won 111-97, with Moses Moody and Anthony Davis being the main stage players of the game, scoring 21 and 24 points for their teams. Vibes were high in the arena, with both teams hyping up the young Bronny James even while he was on the bench. Moving on to the NFL, let's take a look back at the post-Week 6 transfers. Wide receiver Amari Cooper of the Cleveland Browns was traded to the Buffalo Bills for a third-round pick in the 2025 draft. The trade worked out fairly well for the Bills, as Cooper scored a touchdown in the third quarter, helping lead the Bills to a 34-10 win against the Tennessee Titans. In other transfer news, Davante Adams, a wide receiver for our own Las Vegas Raiders, was traded to the New York Jets for another third-round pick. A select few blame the devastating loss from Sunday on the fact that Adams wasn't there to guide them to victory, but others feel that they were destined to lose regardless. The Super Bowl 58 rivalry between the Kansas City Chiefs and the San Francisco 49ers was reawoken last Sunday with a loss for the 49ers yet again. Brock Purdy made a very long and very incredible 41-yard throw to George Kittle, who put the 49ers in position to score their first touchdown of the game. In the third quarter, quarterback Patrick Mahomes made a 33-yard run to the sideline to bring the Chiefs up to a 4-yard line, where Mahomes later scored a touchdown at the beginning of the fourth quarter. The Minnesota Vikings took their first loss of the NFL regular season against division rivals, the Detroit Lions. The Vikings took an early first-quarter touchdown with a 30-yard drive by running back Aaron Jones. Jahmyr Gibbs scored the first touchdown for the Lions, taking a long run to the end zone from 45 yards back. Detroit took the lead when number 14, St. Brown, made the second of 3 touchdowns for the Lions in the second quarter. The Lions won the game 31-29 and now sit 5-1 at the top of the standings, tied for wins and losses with the Vikings, but lead on points for. In motorsport news, aside from NASCAR in Vegas, Charles Leclerc took a dominant win in Formula One's return to Austin, Texas for the United States Grand Prix, winning by 8.5 seconds to his teammate Carlos Sainz, who finished in second. Championship leader Max Verstappen finished third place after Lando Norris, his rival, got a 5-second penalty for overtaking Verstappen off track. Lewis Hamilton spun out of the race early on in turn 19, getting stuck in the gravel and adding salt to the wound on Mercedes' painful weekend up to that point. The spin brought out the safety car for the first time in 9 races, which was the longest time without a safety car since its institution in the series. Liam Lawson made a very successful debut in Formula One, taking 2 points in his first race as a full-time driver. Lawson was brought in to replace the failing Daniel Ricciardo after the Singapore Grand Prix, and thus far looks to be a promising driver. The other mid-season rookie, Franco Colapinto, also made his way into the points, finishing 10th overall. That's been everything in the last week in sports. Next week we'll be back in article form, but for now, I'm Nino Galloway, and that was the last week in sports.